Hey guys, welcome to the Riz Fitness YouTube page. Today, I wanted to discuss psychological concepts, belief systems, mindset around, losing weight. If you're someone that struggles to lose weight and has done for a really, really long time, I've been through this journey myself and I've coached hundreds of people to get through that same journey themselves. So I want to dive a little bit into expectations and a few other things. Expectations, when somebody comes to me as a client, let's say, someone has to lose either 5 to 15 kilos. If they have really high expectations for what they're going to do, they're usually destined for a rude awakening. Now that rude awakening can look like failure, that can look like not achieving your goals in the time that you set out. I really pride myself on my ability to set a reasonable plan and structure for clients to achieve and maintain. I believe firmly that it's important to set the bar really low to start and then add on more as we go along. It's really easy to ramp it up, but it's not as easy to ramp it down. And that's where a lot of people get caught up. They'll come to me with this idea that they can lose 10 kilos in 10 weeks and it'll all be hunky-dory. I've got some news for you. There's a lot of time in between day 1 and day 70 of a 10-week training program. Now, the things that are really important about that is understanding that, sure, 10 kilos might be the initial goal, but what's the long-term goal? Who do you want to be at the end of this phase? And a lot of people struggle with this. For me, something that I've learned along the way in my health and fitness journey and through coaching hundreds of other people in theirs, is that if you draw out the expectation of what you plan to achieve, you're guaranteed to achieve it. What I've done recently is I set out a 3-year goal with my coach to achieve, I think it was about 25 kilos of weight loss. I want to be under 100 kilos. And so I said to him, hey, look, I've done the bodybuilding prep stuff. I've gotten really shredded before, but all it's done is sort of lead me to gain that 10 to 15 kilos back. And I really want to solve that problem. Now, I've solved that problem for other clients and I've empowered them to do the same, but I'm human and as I go along my journey, it's really important that I do that and then reflect and give some of that back to my clients. And the way I do that is helping them draw out expectations. And so by doing that 3-year span with my coach, what it allows for is life, not being so dependent on the scale, and everything else that comes in between. You're more likely to succeed if you set a really long-term goal. If you think about the person that you want to be at the end of a program and phase, you're more likely to achieve it. So for me, I wanted to be someone that's 10 to 12% body fat, year-round, in great shape, always. But I want that in, I think we've got 26 more months to go. Now, I've lost around 6 kilos and changed my body composition drastically in that time. And so how I did that was setting a really, really long-term goal and just slowly knocking off weight 1 kilo a month for that period. And who I wanted to be was someone that was fit and healthy and had great eating habits that allowed him to then stay at that weight forever or stay in that shape forever. Now, obviously, look, that is a bit of a pipe dream for some, but in reality, it's not if you work towards it. Now, for some people, the idea of a 3-year goal is really scary. But for me, the idea of setting a goal of who you want to be in 3 years is less scary. If I constantly focus on, Adriano, you need to be 12 kilos down each year or 10 kilos down each year, you got to push. I'd be pretty exhausted by the end of it. I run a successful personal training studio. I've got a life I want to lead, and everything else that sort of comes in between there. If I focus purely on the numbers, I'd be disappointed. But if I drew out my expectations, which I have done, and I've gone, you know what, I set a 3-year goal for who I want to be in 3 years, it allows me to fuck up. It allows me to have weekends out where I'm just not even caring about the food that I have. It allows me to have weeks where I do care about the food that I have. And more often than not, if within 80 to 90% of the time I'm eating well and looking after my health and eating meals that are going to support my diet, I'm in the right place. If I don't do that, I'm going to be destined to constantly look at the scale and look at the outcomes from there, as opposed to my relationship with food and exercise. I've had weeks off of training, I've had weeks on of training. It allows me to push and pull and see my whole body and my life as a bigger picture. Fitness for me has always been something that is meant to nourish your life, not take away from it. I love training 5 days a week. I really enjoy the gym. Sometimes it's a struggle, sometimes it's really enjoyable and pleasurable. So I just invite you to have a look at your health and fitness goals and really stretch it out and think about who you want to be in 3 years versus the goal you want to achieve in 12 weeks. Simply because you're going to be back here. We're going to be having this conversation again if you follow that same program, if you follow that same ideal of, I want to lose 10 kilos now. You're going to constantly focus on that weight. What do you need to focus on more realistically, that's more maintainable, is who you want to be. Do you want to be someone that looks after their health and fitness and their body year in, year out? Yes. Okay. Well, then let's start working towards that. And you do that by just working out and taking away some of the stress and neuroticism that kind of follows when you do that sort of 10 kilos in 10 weeks stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a kickstart. I have 28-day challenges to introduce you to a weight training program here at my gym. But I don't believe that that's how you should approach your dieting and fitness endeavors for the rest of your life. I think that 28-day period, the first couple of months even, should be a diagnostic for how you live the rest of your time to reach the goal to become the person that you want to be. A kickstart's sort of designed to show you that what you're doing is effective, and that's that. And then it gives you that sort of self-esteem, that self-belief that, fuck, what I'm doing is working, I better keep going. I hope this video sees you well. It's just one of the tips and one of the mindsets around exercise and dieting that I found super, super useful. So please, when you're thinking about health and fitness, think about who you want to be, think about the expectations around that, the timelines that you want to achieve that in, and don't rush it, because you'll be back here in no time if you do. All the best. Thank you.